Internet marketing is bullshit. Is what that guy said. Right when I got in there.
That's been the running joke between you and I for 15 plus years. It's been
It's a great story.
He said that internet marketing is bullshit.
Now, mind you guys, I'm thinking I'm being set up here because that's what I'm providing. I'm providing Mike and John internet marketing. Welcome to the Gain Traction Podcast, the official podcast for tire business. I am Mike Edge, your host, and I have the privilege of interviewing the tire dealers, shop owners, counter sales reps, technicians, industry executives, and other thought leaders of our industry. This episode is brought to you by Tread Partners. Tread Partners is the leading digital marketing agency that specializes in digital marketing for multi-location tire and auto repair shops. Tread Partners works with clients that have hundreds of locations down to 5 locations. Get a professional, unbiased opinion and let Tread Partners review what you're doing. It starts with a simple conversation. To contact Tread Partners, visit treadpartners.com. So let's get started. Welcome to the Gain Traction Podcast, the official podcast for tire business. One of my all-time favorite guys in the industry is my guest today, Mike Griffin with D&K Tire, aka Dunlap and Kyle Tire in Birmingham, Alabama. He's the sales manager, and Mike, I'd say we've known each other at least 15 plus years now. How the heck are you?
Everything is good, man. How about you?
It's fantastic. I was excited that you actually said you'd do a podcast with me because I don't have an agenda today. I'm not trying to accomplish anything with you. We laugh a lot together. So I figured, man, this is a great one to do with people that just, want to listen to two guys in the tire industry, just tell some funny old stories maybe.
Well, if you have no agenda, I'm the man for the job. I can assure you.
I knew you checked that box for me. Well, let's take people down memory lane. When I first met you, is when you were with S&S Tire, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's correct.
And I was with Upright Communications. We did internet marketing for you guys, and I'm just going to go ahead and get to it. You know what I'm going to get to too, because it's one of my all-time favorite funny stories because it's so legitimate. But folks, let me prep you guys. When I started when I met Mike, we were doing internet marketing for tire dealers. That was it. And we were basically getting them up online. This was in the mid 2000s, early 2000s. And the company had contracted me to meet with their dealers. So I went all over the Southeast and I met with different folks, met Mike in Birmingham, and he was taking me around to some of his dealers, and we went out to lunch with Mike and Joe, if I'm not mistaken, right? John, Mike and John, and I'll let you take it from there.
Well, we went to meet with these the two brothers, and they had a tire store at that time in Chelsea, Alabama. They still have it, and they have another one here in Birmingham now. So there was a newer restaurant in that community, and they were wanting us to go and eat lunch there. So the owner of the restaurant, and they were all for supporting community and small business and things, and you kind of tell he was having a little bit of struggles with all the things that were coming at him because they'd only been open for a few weeks. And he's telling Mike and John, as we're sitting there with them and telling us that, well, it's this and that and the other. He said, but I want to tell you one thing. He said, that internet marketing is bullshit.
Now, mind you guys, I'm thinking I'm being set up here because that's what I'm providing. I'm providing Mike and John internet marketing. And I think these guys are baiting me, and they swear to this day they didn't.
we fell out laughing for about 5 minutes straight, and that guy was really confused.
Yeah, he couldn't figure out why we were laughing so hard because he had no idea what we were doing.
He was as baffled as Adam on Mother's Day.
Anyway, the food was pretty good at that place, but that was one that really stuck with me. One of my favorite, all-time favorite stories, because I swear my jaw dropped. I think y'all saw that, and I was just like, no way, and it was just like, talking about a buzzkill. And I literally had just met Mike and John. I think we went to their shop first, but we literally were just meeting for lunch. And
yes.
Yeah. Oh, that was so funny. Internet marketing is bullshit. Is what that guy said. right when I got in there.
Yeah, that's been the running joke between you and I for, like you said, 15 plus years. It's been
it's a great story. I'll tell you another funny story that I had when I was at the Ballantrae. Is that the way you say it? Ballantrae?
Ballantrae, yes.
Yeah, golf club where you guys used to host that annual tournament. That was a beautiful course, by the way. But when I get down there, everybody gets there about 7:00 in the morning. I think tee off's about 8. Everybody's getting their coffee, donuts, whatever, meeting. And it was funny because I meet this guy in the cart next to me. I'm putting my clubs on the back of the cart. And I don't know if I ever told you this story, but he goes, hey, we just do the short exchange introduction, whatever. Where you from? Where you from? I said, Owensboro, Kentucky. And he goes, Owensboro. He looks to his right and he goes, hey, Joe, whatever his buddy's name was. He goes, Owensboro right here. And I'm like, inside joke. And I know what's going on here. And he goes, man, I don't know what it is. He said, but every time we travel anywhere, we run into one of you people. He goes, you people travel better than anybody I've ever met. And then he was talking about mutual acquaintance of ours because they were Bridgestone. I know a guy out there at Bridgestone. Anyway, he said when he goes to the airport with him, he says every time he goes to the airport, he runs into somebody from his hometown, Owensboro, Kentucky. He goes, how big are you guys? I said, the county, about 106,000. That's it. And he goes, what's the deal? But he said literally everywhere he goes, he runs into somebody. So him and the guy that I guess he was playing with, they had a running joke about running where they were going to run into their Owensboro guy that day or whatever, but they did. So I'll never forget that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so I completed the cycle for him. I was the guy that day for him. But anyway, now I remember coming down there a lot, and I love playing in that golf tournament. Are you guys still? Do you still do any playing down there at all? Because I know you're not with the same company or anything, but you guys.
We do not. We participate a lot with the Alabama Tire Diggers Association. They'll have some scholarship fundraising tournaments. They'll have usually one in the spring and one in the fall,
nice.
Along with their convention. But we do that, but not so much like the customers coming in and us giving away all the door prizes and all the different.
It had some good stuff back in the day. Real quick, at D&K, on the business side with passenger light truck, where do you see the market right now, especially like with tariffs and things like that? What are you guys seeing in Alabama?
See a lot of people with just uncertainty and afraid to really make big purchases.
Yeah.
Not knowing like what happened, 4 years ago, I guess, when all the tariffs and things went up and a lot of people got caught upside down with high cost and inventory from freight rates and tariffs and everything like that. So everybody's being a little more cautious, and seems like as the prices continue to rise on that stuff, the domestic product as well, that people are somewhat tearing down. And, I was Michelin and Bridgestone, just the two of the top tires that people seem to be settling down to a, maybe a Uniroyal and a Firestone instead of, the top of the line.
Or do you see a lot of even the tier 3 or what it maybe even call them tier 4s? Do you see a lot of those being sold more?
We do.
Yeah,
we do. And even the tier 4 and those prices continue to rise as well. So,
but not as significant, right?
No, not as significant, but it seems like domestic manufacturers, they're going to keep a spread of a certain percentage in between what the import tires are and what their product is, so they can, take it. I think they take advantage of that, just to be honest.
So in other words, the tariff has allowed them to raise their price, but not they don't have to raise it as they can stay competitive underneath the whatever the tariff causes in regards to an increase. They got the advantages of raising their price, but not as much.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And they do. And I mean, that it's always been that way. And I'm sure their costs go up as well. I don't want to make it sound like I think they're gouging anybody. They're not, but I'm just saying there's going to maintain a spread between those two. segments of the market.
Well, I mean, without going too deep down the rabbit hole, I mean, they've been trying to say that inflation was under control. Inflation's, it's only gone up by X amount or whatever. I think last year I heard it had only gone up, but they said 9%. And I want to say, I just want to call BS. I mean, I know things that have doubled in price. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, come on, guys. I mean, and all these little tricks they play, in Washington for the last couple of years about how to classify what's, an increase or whatever. I just come ask me. I can tell you. I mean, you look at the price of milk and eggs and anything else out there. I mean, just, for instance, I told you we're doing this little remodel in our bathroom here at the house, man. I can tell you when I had it originally quoted and when it's getting in now, we're talking two different ball games, man.
Wow.
Yeah. And I see it in the tire industry too. And it's unfortunately, but everybody in the political sphere like to tell us what they think we can absorb as if we're stupid, that we can't figure out that, no, it's a lot higher than 9%.
Yes. And most of our customers, who are the independent tire dealers, they're really, tire sales are flat, at best. But their service work is really, really good, which is, what is the lifeblood of the shop anyway.
Yeah. Well, and I think obviously people aren't buying the new car right now, right? So they're going to get it repaired longer. So that obviously helps the independent tire and auto repair shop out. So, but at the same time, tire sales tend to go down to people just don't buy tires unless they absolutely need them now.
That's right. That's exactly right. I mean, there are people telling us, they run them till the wires are hanging out, anymore in a lot of cases.
Yeah. I recently got a new set and for my wife that is, but I don't play that game anymore. Though if you've ever hydroplaned and done a real serious hydroplane, like not just a little, through the water, but the one where you go like skidding for 100 yards, feel like you're on ice, that changes your opinion about, I don't even let them get down to the nub or, right below the marker anymore.
The wear bars. Yeah.
Yeah. The wear bar. I'm well before that now.
Well, and that's good. And we should all be that way. But, especially people who are in the tire business, they're kind of like they used to talk about painters, their house needed paint worse than any of them on the block, So our tire guys tend to see how far they can push it sometimes. And that's not good either. But
man, I got to tell you something that you'll appreciate. And I don't know why this comes to mind, but my wife and I have this thing in Owensboro. There's this, I guess he's just a regular old painter contractor. You bringing up painters, and he's got a sign out in his front yard that looks like it's stenciled on wood, like a plywood, like it's stenciled on plywood with two wood stakes that go in the ground. And it says painting professionals or whatever, and it's got a phone number with it. But the board that it's on looks like crap, right? And the stencil they use looks like crap, and the paint, it just looks like crap. And my wife and I, we can't, the thing is, this guy might be a good painter, but his marketing is horrible. Like, he doesn't understand. No, you need a first class sign out here, pal. You don't need to be painting plywood with two wooden stakes to say you're a professional painter with stencil. And I'm like, my mind works like marketing anyway, but I'm going, man, I can't imagine who's calling you.
Well, our old industry saying, that perception is reality. You know what I mean? If that's what you perceive, then it's, that's whether it's that way or not. That's in your mind.
The thing is, the guy actually might be a pretty good painter, but I don't know. I feel like if you can't catch this little detail right here, the sign you're putting in your yard trying to catch us, get our attention, that's bad mojo right there.
Yes, I agree with you on that.
It's one of those things, just I can't help myself. Hey, we said we go down several rabbit holes, and I got one for us. Food. Do you still eat at Nikki's?
Every chance I get.
Do you?
Yeah, we from where our office is, it's about 25 minutes. So I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
it's not a spot that we can just run over for lunch. But when I'm out working with sales guys or on my own or whatever, you usually try to plan your day around being over there, about lunchtime.
Now, guys, this is to the audience. This is a place to eat at in Birmingham, and if you ever go down to Birmingham, you got to go to this place. It's a massive place that sells great food, and it's like a meat and three type place, but it's cafeteria style, right? I mean, if I remember right, you walk up through there and you're waiting in this long line, but they serve you your food. It's like a buffet, but you're not the one holding the spoons and grabbing everything. They do it on the other side like a cafeteria, and you tell them what you want. But you get kicked to the back of the line if they catch you on your cell phone.
Absolutely. They will not put up with it.
It's almost like the suit Nazi.
Yes, it's exactly what I was fixing to say. But it is so fascinating when you go to that place, because you literally pull into the parking lot, and I mean, it is full. You think, oh my gosh, we'll be here for a couple hours trying to get in and out of here. And you go in and like you said, you walk through just like you're on a ride at the amusement park, go through the, back and forth and get your tray and your silverware. And there's probably, I don't know an exact number, but I mean, there's probably, 8 to 10 different type meats. And there's probably 20 vegetables.
And this is like roast beef, green beans and potatoes, everything that you can imagine, casserole type stuff, broccoli and cheese or whatever. I mean, there's just the variety is amazing. But the other thing that was, I'm bringing up, because it's not like a style of restaurant that I would think I'm going to go eat there and have good quality, but the quality is outstanding. And to your point about pulling up in that lot, you pull up in that lot, you're like, guys, we're going to be here forever. And you're not. But you sit there and look at the factory they've created. I mean, it's a factory, but the quality of food is outstanding. And I think part of their quality too is you don't get to serve yourself. They're serving you. You just pick.
And like you said, Greek chicken is always a big one of their items that they have every day. Tilapia, they'll have something. But when they're so dialed in and they know what they're doing so well that, they're going, can I help you please? Can I help you please? And when they put your food up there, they're sliding it down in front of you where you have to walk down and get it. So they know how to keep the line moving, and they know coming through the desserts and through all of it. And the time you're seated, how you're seated, they point you back. And I mean, it's
well, they got you. They've got people to tell you where you can find a seat. That's how busy this place is. It's like ushers in a church or something, man.
It literally is. And you can go in there, and I told you also, I said, when we pass down in front of that line before we get in, through this one little turn, you need to be looking, because you'll end up with like 2 or 3 meats and 5 vegetables and a salad. And I mean, you really can, because it's all very good.
Yeah, no, it's if you guys ever get a chance, go to Nikki's in Birmingham. I tell you another thing I'm fascinated by is the amount of people they get through at a lunchtime, and the volume of, because I mean, it ain't cheap.
No,
I mean, they charge you what it's fair, but you get a high quality food. It's just technically it's just already prepared. You just get your choice.
Well, you do. And if I remember correctly, because you and I asked I think the cashiers as we were going out, I mean, they even have that dialed in. They got 2, and anyway, but I think they averaged about 1,700 lunches a day.
Yes, it was something astronomical like that.
Yeah.
And I remember, because to put that many people through, and you and I were obviously doing the numbers, kind of being entrepreneurial there, and we were like, gosh dang, dude. And if you make this margin as a food, in the food business, they got it dialed in. I couldn't remember. Did they do a dinner or a breakfast, or they open all 3?
They They did, but when COVID came along, they cut out breakfast and dinner, so they
Oh.
just do lunch now.
Wow.
And if you remember, also on that, we were, we were in and out in like 45 minutes.
Oh, I know. It shocked me.
It's just, if anybody is ever in Birmingham, you need to ask where Nikki's West is, and it's a true experience with a good meal along with it.
Well, that's the thing. You get really good Southern cooking. It's just in an environment that the amount of volume they do. It's just crazy. It's to be that good.
There's a lot of memes you'll see on whatever outlet that you look at when they'll say, like, we have a part of interstates where they join together in Birmingham. It's called Malfunction Junction. Okay, so it's always backed up through there, in rush hour type stuff. And they always say, if you want to get that straightened out, put Nikki's West in charge. They'll blow everybody through there in a hurry.
That's true. They know how to handle a crowd, man.
They do.
That's funny. Malfunction Junction. I know where you're talking about. I think I've been down through there plenty of times. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about something else. Like I said, we're going to go down all these little rabbit holes. What's your favorite? You mentioned sports movies. What's your favorite movie? Sports movie.
It kind of depends whether kind of what mood I'm in. I love Caddyshack. Those type movies.
Yes.
Things like that are just, there's no real in-depth thought process to it. It's just funny.
Yes.
But then you get into stuff like Remember the Titans.
Yes.
I love those type movies. Of course, with Robert Redford just passing, The Natural. That's really, really good one.
I had one other guest over the last 4 years of doing this that brought up The Natural. You're the second one. That's an overlooked movie.
Well, it is, and grew up. I did is in a baseball family, so anything with baseball, I'm gonna like it one way to go. But a lot of good ones. Even Happy Gilmore.
Yeah,
is you get a lot of one-liners.
Did you see the second one?
I did.
It's good, but it's not like. It's like it's good. It's just the whole thing's kind of interesting concept of what they're doing and all that. But my favorite line by far was, "Don't forget to feed John Daly."
he was great in that. He just
he lived in their garage. Remember?
Yeah.
Happy's got the kids. They're all grown, but they all still stay at home. And John Daly lived in their garage. And he goes, "Listen, don't forget to feed John."
Exactly. But it was, and I like that one because they didn't really try to, take it a whole nother direction. They just basically redid it at an older age,
That's it. Yeah, no. And they tried to get a lot of different celebrities in there too. It was funny with all that. But the fact that John Daly got to be himself was just funny to me.
Yeah, that was me as well.
And just I don't know, it like you said, it wasn't a great movie, but it just had some good one-liners.
Yeah.
It's so for everybody listening out there, yeah, you got to watch it, but you won't watch it again. It's not one of those.
Yeah. It's like I said. It's just some, if you just want to take an hour and a half and kick back, have some laughs, and not have to engage in a deep thought.
You know what I tell the younger generation, and it's weird to say it to people because I always assume everybody just has seen the movie growing up, or at least every man. The Rockies. Especially Rocky 1 and 2. Because Rocky 1 has so much, but it's funny because I got these son-in-laws now that one of them I don't think had ever seen it, and I'm like, gosh dang. I was like, man, that should have been I didn't realize that. I should have asked you that before I gave you permission to marry my daughter.
Yes.
And I didn't have that on the agenda that day or whatever, but it's funny because I'm like, every guy has to see Rocky 1 because the story of Rocky 1 is so cool with the fact that it just teaches you to don't quit, and remember his goal wasn't necessarily to win. His goal was, once he realized he couldn't beat the champion, his goal was just, can I go the distance with him? it's one of those movies where I think everybody should have seen that. Every man should have. And like I said about my son-in-laws, I should have made that a prerequisite because they're young. Their daddies didn't make them watch it. I made my sons just because I love. Number one is where he realizes he's not going to beat the guy, so his goal was, man, I just want to go the distance and then I'll beat somebody. Because he goes, I just don't want to be another bum from the neighborhood.
Yeah. And I kind of, for my boys growing up, I had two that I would make them watch, and I would just, when they were feeling sorry for themselves or something, I would make them watch Rudy, which is a great,
yes.
You just got to keep going. You got to keep fighting. Just don't lose sight of your dreams. And the other was Hoosiers.
Oh yeah.
With the basketball and how disciplined you got to be and listen to your coaches and things like that. So I think there's a lot of life lessons in a lot of those movies that parallel with sports that come to light. But
there's something about sports that translate well into industry and business, and especially if you've had to play on a team sport. And especially if it's a high pressure, because you learn you have to work together. And, in the tire business, it can be high pressure when you're trying to get things turned over, get things out the door, and everything hits at once. And then the truck goes down and, just anything can happen. It's all about how does the team rally around itself, not point fingers or anything else, but just get the job done.
Exactly right. It's at the end of the day.
I think sports matter in that regard. It's interesting to me, like, I've been around a lot, and when I got these sons and whatnot, and I see these parents that, they're always nagging on their kid. And then like they're always trying to coach them up or something. And then you find out the sport that the kid's playing, the dad's never even played. And yet he's dogging his kid, and it's like, dude, let them have fun. Let them make mistakes and let them figure it out. It's okay,
and let them be coached and learn that someday you're going to have a boss that's he may coach you hard and love you harder. You know what I mean? That's kind of the way it's got to be sometimes.
Well, one of the best examples, one of the best decisions I ever made in my life was when I let my son. He was playing it was 9-year-old baseball. It's the first year you start pitching and all that stuff. And it was horrible. And we had a coach that was, morally and ethically one of the nicest guys in the world, just a good, upstanding man. But in regards to baseball knowledge and the way he coached, he was awful. And he would put kids that couldn't play first base at first place just because he wanted everybody to rotate and get a feel for every position on the field. So like, the worst player could be at first base where he's going to have to catch the ball every time. Best player could be out in right field or nowhere. He could just be moving. And the bad thing was he didn't understand that hurts a kid's confidence, right? The kid that can't catch the ball, you're just sinking him lower. He's not getting the chance to build up. I understand his mindset was some form of equality like everybody, but you weren't helping the bad kid because he wasn't being able to step into that confidence zone. He just stepping at first base and getting drilled, and then you're just ticking off the kid with talent that wants to contribute because you're sticking him and hiding him somewhere. It was just a mess. Okay. But he was a nice guy. And I remember my son getting in the car with me and he goes, Dad, I think I know more baseball than my coach. And I said, and honestly, I couldn't deny it. I go, well, you're probably right. I said, but there's a big difference. He goes, what? He's all bad. He goes, why don't you just take me off this team and let's go play in another league? He wanted, all this stuff. Said that would be the norm. That would be like a lot of what your friends' dads do. And people have done that we know, and they didn't get drawn in drafted in the right team, all that stuff. I said, this is a good life lesson for you. I said, you're going to have a boss one day that you're not going to like. I said, but he may make bad decisions, but guess what? He's the guy in charge and somebody has to make the decisions, and I said, your coach, this isn't life or death. And we're not dealing with a moral issue here. Yeah, he's making some poor decisions, but he's the coach. And he goes, but we stink, he's like upset and he's 9. And I feel bad for him, right? I'm feeling the pressure myself, thinking, yeah, I should have taken him somewhere. Then I just, I was like, all right, look. I said, don't you have a couple good buddies on this team? He did. And I knew that. He said, yeah. And I said, why don't y'all just have fun and make the most of it? Just figure out how to have the most fun you can. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
And ended up being a really good. I'm glad I went through that process. It was painful, Mike. I mean, when I say painful, I don't know if we won a ball game. Okay. But it was a good life lesson, and he learned a lot that year. And did it hurt his career or his life? No, actually it probably taught him the most, that you got to figure it out, and Dad, and I'm glad I didn't cave, to think, oh, I got to make sure my kid gets on a better team and a better experience and all that stuff. No, sometimes it's best just to suck it up and let them figure their way through it.
That's right. Just take your lumps and, like you said, learn from it and move on.
Hey, I was going to ask you, I know we're probably coming up on our stop here, but what about like a mantra or a quote, something you live by? Anything come to mind?
Really, I just every morning get up and just pray that I can be a blessing to somebody in some form or fashion. There's a Dr. Kevin Elko, and that's where I got that from. He's kind of a sports psychologist. And me being an Auburn fan, he worked for Nick Saban at Alabama during all these past years, and I'd heard him speak through some of that. And I mean, that's where I get that from. If y'all don't know him, he's phenomenal. If you could get on YouTube, and he's got, different links of podcasts or videos, but he really, really does good. And I really do try to do that.
What's his name again?
Dr. Kevin Elko, Elko. He has so much good stuff. It speaks to me. And I can feel it in one of his sayings also that he preaches is, treat everybody you meet like they're hurting, because you won't miss by much, because all these your coworkers and people that you see, and you wonder, you don't really know what they're going through with their home life, or they're just different situations that maybe they just need somebody to pull them aside and just, ask them how they're doing.
That's so interesting because, the reality is when you do talk to people, everybody's got something they're fighting, they're struggling with or whatever. And so he's just saying, go ahead and make that assumption. Everybody's already in some painful moment, and treat them from that point. Like, just even if you don't know what it is, he's saying, just treat them nice, help them out by making their day better.
You won't miss by much. That's what he says, and that's the truth. Another thing here at work, I guess, also one thing that I keep trying to rewire some of our thought process through our sales guys and everybody, but is intentionality. Come in and be intentional about what we do and about what we're going to do today, and just, ownership, all of those type things. I'll text these guys every morning. I'll text them something, and just trying to keep it and replant that positive thought process of, hey, I gotta take control of this, and I gotta decide. Yeah. That's the other thing. Decide. You want to. Here I go again with Dr. Kevin Elko, but there's two top people in this world. There's lions and greyhounds. The greyhound is going to run when he's hungry. Then they'll get him. But the lion, he'll eat on Monday, he'll eat on Tuesday, he'll eat on Wednesday. You walk out there Thursday, he'll eat. So, you got to be hungry and be the lion and go want to eat every single day, and not the greyhound, just do it when you feel like it.
That's interesting.
So,
no, it's all good stuff. Well, Mike, I tell you, You're one of my favorite peeps in the industry. I'm glad you came on the show, and I'm glad we just went down different rabbit holes, and I hope everybody enjoyed it.
Same here. I appreciate you as well. And like I said, you'll just get that text from me out of the blue saying, "Hey, internet marketing is BS." Every now and then it's really good to catch up with you, and I as well. You're one of my favorites, and that's why I've always tried to keep tabs on you and what you had going on.
Well, thank you. You've always been a good support. Well, we'll have you on here again someday, and don't be shy and make it up to Winsboro sometime.
Okay.
And if I get back down there, I want to go to Nikki's West.
Hey, I guarantee that'll happen.
All right, brother. Thank you. To all our guests out there, listeners out there, thank you. We love you. Till next time, we'll see you here at Gain Traction. To all our listeners, thank you for being part of the Gain Traction podcast. We are grateful for you. If you'd like to find more podcasts like this, please visit gaintractionpodcast.com. If you'd like to make a guest recommendation, please email me at mike@treadpartners.com. This episode has been powered by Tread Partners, the leader in digital marketing for multi-location tire and auto repair shops. To learn more about Tread Partners, visit treadpartners.com.